a massive issue with Mortal Kombat 1 I don't see addressed at all, which is the fact that this game has multiple characters that have a strong argument for like the worst designed character in fighting game history. Honestly, many of these, and I'm not talking Mortal Kombat, I would have said Mortal Kombat history. I think these characters are very easily the worst designed characters in NRS. And like in the time NRS made Mortal Kombat. And honestly, maybe even in NRS history. Straight up. Beyond shitty designs. So, let's just start with Ashra was probably the worst designed one just because her kit is fundamentally flawed. Just one thing you may forget when you're fighting Ashra is she actually has a separate stance, which is just another separate moveset. Unique special move, unique gimmick, an entire different thing. This move, Hell Mode. Nobody ever uses this. And let me explain to you why very easily. Number one, this stance, to use it, you are trading off this projectile, which is the best tool she has in her kit. Ashra as a character, the way she plays in high level is not by using her stance. No, not at all. The way she plays in high level is, she is a keep away character. What that means is, she conditions you into making mistakes. She just conditions you non-stop with this. She's throwing this back to back to back to back. She's just making you do the mistakes. She's thrusting this until you get impatient, you do something and she can whiff punish you very easily with her strong normals. You either jump like a dumbass against this character when she has the best anti-air in the game, which is just as beyond broken hitbox. Yeah, good job NRS. Fantastic job. Very balanced button. And afterwards she's dropping nuclear bombs for combos. Like, you get a whiff punish on, and then she's just dropping 44% casually with one cameo, one bar. And if you want to spend more, of course you can. And you will do more. Much more. As if the character with such busted people even needs this amount of damage. But no, she has access to this for reasons I will never understand. But if you want to, you can drop 54% with her. Which is something most characters can't even do. No matter their cameo pick or the damage or the bars they spent. This is Takeda levels of damage. This is the amount of damage she's doing. She's doing damage comparable to Takeda, who has the second highest damage output in the game, aside from Nitara. And this character is not even designed around their damage. Takeda, his design is flawed in many parts, but he's supposed to make up for it in damage. It doesn't. It's not that good, unfortunately. He's a pretty low-tier character in my opinion. But Takeda's damage is very, very high, and it makes up for some of his shortcomings. For Ashra, the damage is just a bonus. Like, she's just doing this damage for no reason. She's not even meant to be a damage character. The way she's playing keep away. She's keeping you away, she's conditioning your ass. She's playing very similar to Reptile, who's conditioning you with force balls. She has a better version of a force ball. That's pretty much it. You can't even jump over this. You can't jump over this, you can't play around it. It's just completely free, and there's nothing you can do about it. So yeah, broken ass move. And the fact that you're trading it to this stance, you're trading the best move in a kit. You're literally sabotaging yourself. So, what's the gimmick here? You're putting these orbs on your opponent. What do these orbs do? They slightly enhance combo damage. If I have all debuffs on and I do this route, which is very easy by the way, a monkey can do this, I'm getting 46 if I have all 3 debuffs, which is not easy to get. Even just doing it baseline, I'm getting 42. So they expect you to trade off the best tool you have in your entire kit for a move that you need to set up debuffs on your opponent, which is very, very hard, for 4% damage. When the character I'm using is literally top 5 characters in the roster when it comes to damage output. Just understand how fucking flawed this is. Why would you ever use this? This is the reason why nobody uses this unless they're trying to style on their opponent. Yeah, she gets access to empty vanishes, right? Just empty vanishes. But nobody uses this. Nobody, because why? It's not guaranteed. They can just poke the shit out of you. They can poke you out of it. And it's just not worth it. There's zero reasons, there's zero situations where going into this stance will actually be useful to you, because you trade off the tool that you use for everything. You use this for Oki, you use this for pressure, you use this for keep away, for anti-zoning, for zoning, for getting in, for everything. This is the kit. This is Ashra, this move, right here. So why the fuck would I want to trade it off for anything? Especially for just damage. Who cares if I'm doing 4% more when I'm killing my opponent in 3 touches anyway? Who cares? I don't care. Why should I care? I don't care. So yeah, this is why she's designed so in such a shitty way. It just makes no sense, dude. It legitimately just makes no fucking sense. Why would they make this a stance character? I don't understand. And if they are going to make her a stance character, and give her a damage buffing stance, at least to make her damage baseline low. If this combo right here did 24%, and this entire thing right here, when I'm dumping everything, if this entire thing does 54%, did 40 overall, I would understand, because that would be very low. 3 bars, 2 camera, 40 is very low for any character. And I would understand if she had a damage buffing stance. But how would I design this if they're gonna even make it for any character? Ashra doesn't need this stance in the first place, but if they're gonna make a damage buffing stance, it should be much more impactful. If you have a debuff on your opponent, I feel like it should reset scaling once you pop the debuff. That way it's actually a tool that's worth it. Like, if I have two debuffs, I can reset scaling 2 times in the same combo. And then I can do like 60% damage, because I reset the scaling. And then it will make sense. Of course it will need balancing, and the kit will need to change, because she's way too broken right now to have that. But, yeah, that's why I believe she's designed in such a shitty way. She's a stance character with 0 usage out of her other stance, which means she's a stance character that doesn't use her other stance. Which is just the definition of shitty design. How in the fuck are you gonna make a stance character that doesn't use its other stance? Think of Kenshi who's not using center. That's how you're supposed to think about this. Of course, Kenshi is a puppet character, it's a bit more severe if that was the case for him, but this is literally the exact same scenario. She's got an entire separate kit for a unique mode she's in, and she's never using it. So yeah, shitty design, worst designed character in this game by far, and a very strong contender for worst design in fighting game history. Also, another thing I want to mention is, she has armor that has 0 risk. And armor actually has like infinite hits of armor. I'm not sure how much it has. Like, it has a shit ton of hits. I don't think it specifies that. As armor unbreakable during first use in a combo. Fine, whatever. Yeah, so it has armor. What that means is, let me just have the Ashra do this, alright? She's doing this. I can't even attack her, dude. Like, that armor will not break. Look at what happens. Like, I'm going to do this and summon Goro too. Pretty much infinite hits of armor. Now, please tell me, who's gonna punish this at this range? Nobody. It's completely free. There's nobody who can punish this. Which is another issue with this character, and why she has such a shitty design, because you're giving a character armor that is completely unpunishable. To punish this, oh, it also has a massive hitbox. To punish this, I need to jump over her. Do a dive kick like that. I need to make a Mega Mind read. I need to make a read of 500 IQ. Why the fuck do I need to make a read for a get out of jail card that when used by any character aside from Ashra, Kung Lao and Smoke, it's completely guaranteed that I'm gonna fucking kill them. Because any armor in this game aside from Kung Lao, Smoke and Ashra, if you block the armor, you are getting a full combo punish. And normally it's the optimal punish as well, it's like minus 20 for everyone. But no, these characters are different. And this leads me to my next point, Kung Lao. That's it for Ashra, shitty design, broken character, very, very brain dead. Let's move on. Kung Lao, why is his design shit? Sorry. I'm angry when I'm talking about Ashra every time. Very simple. He's got armor that is safe on block against every character besides for himself and Liu Kang. And one more character I forgot. Liu Kang and Kung Lao are the only characters in the roster, for my knowledge. Maybe there's one more. I think there's one more that I am forgetting about. They are the only characters in the roster who can actually punish this armor. It's minus 7, which means it's completely safe. You can't poke mash after this. It's not minus 6. Minus 6 is the maximum amount for when poke mashing is possible. But if you have any move that's not 6 frames, which is pretty much the entire roster, the fastest moves for everybody almost is 7 frames, so nobody can punish this. Let's say Ashra is doing a standing 1 as a reversal. I can block. If I try and poke mash, I'll get punched out of it. I don't have time to crouch under the jab, but I can block. Understand how fucking stupid this is. I can block after an armor that has this much range. And it's an armor. Every character has armor because it's supposed to be a 50-50 guessing game, pretty much. If your opponent makes a read you're gonna armor and you actually armor, you should die. This is how this mechanic is supposed to work. You spend bar for a get out of jail card, so normally it's supposed to have risk. It's just logical, right? But no, Kung Lao just takes the rules out of the fucking window and nobody can punish this. And what's the biggest issue? You can pair it up with safety cameras. Most common pick, Goro. And then, it's actually plus. It's plus. It's plus. I have no fucking idea what they were smoking by making this character, but the Ashra tried to reverse it, she can't. Because I am plus. Look how plus Goro is on hit. 56. Goro, that was a fake one, but does not show the fucking blow. I hate this game. Let me just put him on. Let me just put her on not reversing. Goro hits my plus 13. I can literally do whatever the fuck I want. I can go for this 18 frame overhead. I can go for this low. It can also start combos. So, oh, it's a mid, not a low. Sorry, it's a mid. So, seriously, just what risk do I have in my kit? What risk? There's literally zero risk. Understand why this is such a big issue. When you make armor like this, that by the way also starts combos and is not scaled nearly as enough as it should be. This starts combos, and when you get it in a combo, look how much damage I'm doing as a combo starter. I'm doing 30% damage for one bar, which is only the bar I'm spending for armor. 30% damage into mix-up. Into Oki. I get my turn back. Understand how broken this is. This is a tool that can be used at any time when your opponent has a gap in their string, they're just throwing anything, or just in neutral. What Kung Laos will do a lot is just do this, into this. Because there's zero risk. There's zero risk. What I, as the opponent, needs to do to punish this armor is jump over him when I'm making a read, duck under the Goro is gonna use for safety, and then only then I maybe can punish him. This is the worst design for any character in this roster. And why is that? Aside from Ashra, Ashra is worse designed than this, in my opinion. Ashra is just a mishmash of shit that doesn't blend together well for any reason, aside from being broken. But Kung Lao, this armor, being this broken, and safe on block for no apparent reason, even if we're not using Goro, this is safe. It's fucking safe. This move does everything. It's a way to escape pressure. It's a way to reverse the turn. Like, I can just take my turn back at any time I want as long as I have bar. And that's why Kung Laos are not going to spend their bar in combos. They're just gonna save it. And then they're dishing out their damage, which is by the way very high. Kung Lao's damage output is insane. One of the highest damage characters in the roster, doing a shit ton of damage. For example, in the corner, from this starter, we're talking 42%, and it's not even optimized. So yeah, very balanced. So we give a character like this, that has solid mix-up, good damage, everything, and doesn't really rely on spending bar for anything. He's got a good projectile game without bar, he got very good mobility with the dive kicks. So we were giving a character like this the best special move in the entire game. It's really a free get out of jail card. It's a get out of jail card for free. Nothing can stop this. Nothing. You need to set up an armor breaking setup. But if your opponent is not a dumbass, they're just gonna armor when they know they can armor. And then they just steal their turn back, and there's nothing you can do about it. Or they just start a combo on you because you were caught lacking, because this is also pretty fucking fast. So yeah, I don't need to mention much about this armor. This being so broken means the only thing Kung Laos are doing is run away from you, throw some hats, get in, and just spam the armor at a random moment. Because there's nothing that you can do about it. It's completely safe, there's zero counterplay to it. If you get hit, that's a full combo. If you block and they have Goro, it's plus. If you block and they don't have a cameo, it's safe. Unless they're fighting against a Liu Kang or a Kung Lao, and then the game slightly changes. But, unfortunately, you can't switch characters in a Combat League set in this game. So, if I match a Kung Lao with a character like Kenshi, I'm fucked. I'm fucked. I'm genuinely fucking fucked. I have no fucking choice. I barely have a chance. Because his armor he can armor through the gaps in Sento, and Sento has multiple gaps if you actually know what you're doing. He can armor through that, steal his turn back, I waste my Sento, and then good luck getting another priority. So yeah, this character has insanely favorable matchups for him. And they just made a character that is one special move, pretty much. Kung Lao's entire kit can be summarized by this move. He doesn't do anything else. So So yeah, shitty design. Let's move on to the final character I want to talk about, and it's going to be much shorter than this, because it's very obvious why it's shitty design. Alright, final character I wanted to mention, Reiko. Reiko has a terrible design, and that is for one reason. He's supposed to be a command grab, a grappler. He's supposed to be a grappler archetype character, and he is not that. He's supposed to be a zoner in some ways of his kit, and he's not even that. And he's supposed to be a keep away character, and he's not even that. So he's just a random mishmash of tools. That's how he feels. He's just got multiple tools that make no sense. So let's start with the points of light, which is why he's above Kung Lao and Ashra. Conditioning. A grappler needs tools to keep your opponents guessing if they're actually gonna go for the command grab or not. That's something a grappler always needs. And Reiko has just that. Reiko has some of the best poking game in the game. +2, 0, -2, +3 sweep, 16 frame overhead that knocks down, +8 normal. So he's got multiple tools to keep you blocking for a while. And when you're not expecting it, the grab is gonna come. So that's a good design. A grappler needs this. A grappler needs to have conditioning. It's important. Now, I want you to do I want to stabilize, to establish a baseline here. A baseline of the grappler archetype. The character you should think of when you're thinking of a grappler. And the most obvious answer that is also recent would be Potemkin from Guilty Gear Strive. He is, in my opinion, the best designed grappler in fighting game history. I would very easily give him that title. He's got a command grab, the Potemkin Buster, that does pretty much half of your opponent's HP. You get this? Imagine this did 500 damage. That's what you need to imagine. That's a Potemkin Buster. Now, how does he make up for having such a broken tool? He's got very good range. He's got amazing range to ensure he can outreach his opponents, which is important for a character like this because of the drawbacks he has. Number one, he has no reversal tools. He has no wake-up options. He's got shitty-ass, slow-ass reversaling tools that are barely existent in the first place. So he is just a sitting duck the moment you get block stun. Like, you get block stun, Potemkin is a character who can, like, you can go around where you just flawless your opponent in 5 seconds with 2 command grabs in a row, and then you can go around where you get flawless in 30 seconds because you're just getting stun locked forever in a block string against a very broken mixed-up character. So yeah, that's how they designed this guy, and that's why he works so well. And he also has another command grab that is just an anti-air. Like, he jumps up, he catches your ass, he catches you lacking, he breaks your spine in half with a Potemkin Buster. So yeah, that is how a command grab character, a grappler, is supposed to be designed. He's got a very, very powerful command grab that leads to a shit ton of damage, the most damage he can do pretty much. Unless he gets like an optimal combo starter, which is a different story. Yeah, Potemkin also has very high damage, but it's not really the reason why he's so good. Because everybody is doing ridiculous damage in Guilty Gear, so it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's why he's such a well-designed grappler. He's got a command grab that is very, very scary. It does way too much damage. It does ridiculous amounts of damage. And he has conditioning tools, mainly one, the Garuda Impact, which is just a slow-ass move. Pretty much, think of this, around this speed, slower, much slower, and it's plus 1,000,000 on block. So you just loop it multiple times. It's kind of like Ashra's light projectile, the one I showed earlier. Think of that. It's pretty much the exact same concept. So yeah, this is how a command grab character is supposed to be designed. A grappler is supposed to be designed. A very powerful grab that the kit is designed around, and conditioning tools to help you get to that grab. That's a grappler. That's how a grappler is supposed to play. Now think of Reiko. Reiko has the conditioning. I already mentioned that. Now think of his command grab. Very weak. Very weak. By himself without cameos, this does 11%. This is horrible for a command grab. Horrible. It's shit. It's trash. It's garbage. Shitty damage. If you're spending a cameo in 1 bar, which is a lot of resources, you can break 34. If you're optimizing it, like doing the double kit. I'm just not good at doing it, and I don't want to drop it. If you just spend useless time I don't have anyway. And I don't want this to drag on with me just fucking up combos. So yeah, his command grab has 0 reward to it. So what happens normally, people will not even go for it most of the time. They just condition you to death with this. They just poke you to this. Because the sweep is unreactable, this overhead is unreactable. They just condition you like that. They establish the plus frames, sweep, 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 overhead. plus jab, plus jab, plus jab, plus 8, sweep, sweep. You already have the broken conditioning. It's just to show you what happens if you don't block it. Like, you gotta go by sweep, another sweep, overhead, sweep, overhead, overhead, sweep. Look at how quickly I'm whittling him down. With just these straight hits, which is what Reiko does. This is Reiko's game. This is what he's doing. He's fighting in you with your mind. He's sweeping you to death like that. Eventually you're gonna armor and he's gonna make a read, you're gonna get hit, you're gonna get full combos, and he's gonna do decent damage. His damage output is not bad. See? This is Reiko's game in short range. You would think he's okay. Very good conditioning, which is important for a grappler, and the command grab. Though it should be much stronger for a grappler. But then, you get to the point where you realize why it's not as strong. Because this character, for some reason, has the best projectile in the entire game. He is the best zoner in the game, for no reason. He's just ridiculously good zoner. This shit does a lot of damage, has a lot of screen control, does a crap ton of chip damage. Look what happens if I just spam it consistently, which is what Reikos do a lot. Like, they'll do this. Well, how they do the crystalline armor? I forgot. They'll do this. Just set up this armor or something. And say fuck it. And just throw shurikens like a ninja. And look how much damage you're taking. If you're blocking this. Look how much I'm whittling you down. And if you try and jump over this, just know it's not really possible. It's very active, that shit. You can over this, it's pretty much impossible. Nobody can jump over this. Like, you need perfect timing. Even then, I don't think you can jump over this. Yeah, you can. Very balanced. Insane screen control, crazy chips. So best projectile in the game by far. Then what you also have, you have the laser kicks of his. Which are just insane keep away tools, because he's just been outranging anybody. Almost nobody can get to you from this range. Reiko can. So, by the time you actually manage to get in, finally, after this guy has been throwing shurikens for the last 20 fucking years, by the time you actually manage to get in, finally, you're just gonna get smacked by this from this range. And then you're back to square one, because they can just kick you away like this. And back to square one we go. So, the entire roster can deal with this, because this will also break anti-projectile moves. Peacemaker's force field gets broken by this. Rain's bubble will be broken by this. Sub-Zero's ice armor, broken by this. So, nobody can deal with this. You can just zone them out forever. So yeah, this guy is supposed to be a grappler. He has the conditioning tools of a grappler. His command grab is underpowered. He has broken keep away, insane range, and a broken ass projectile. So, what game does this character play? He's got no point, pretty much. He doesn't have a point in his gameplay. He's just whittling you down with random shit and then running away and throwing shurikens. He doesn't have a game plan. That's pretty much what it is. He doesn't have a game plan. If you would remove the projectile from his kit completely, remove it altogether, and just remove the laser kicks because they have no point being here, so just give him his conditioning and his command grab, I say the command grab should do 25% and start combos. Then you've got yourself a grappler. You've got yourself a Potemkin. That's how a grappler should play. Conditioning, grab. Conditioning, grab. That's the game plan. And he should be a sitting duck when he's getting block stunned. He should have a broken command grab, and Reiko, I believe, should even have armor. Like, I don't think he should have an armored reversal even. And if he does, he should take 2 bars or something. That's how a grappler is supposed to play. He should be very scary to block against, but he should be scared for his life when he's blocking. That's how a grappler is playing. You need to have godlike defense, and just your opponent needs to guess wrong. And that's it. That's how you're playing. You condition them to hell, and eventually the grab is gonna come. That's how a grappler plays. So this guy is not a grappler, this guy is not a zoner, and this guy is not a keep away character. So he doesn't have an archetype, which is why he's a shitty character as far as design goes. And just the final nail in the coffin for him, he's got a cool ass spear in his fatal blow. He's got this spear. Like, he's using it only in his fucking fatal blow, man. He's got this spear right here. And in his intro and his outro, he's holding a fucking spear. And it's only, you only see the spear in his fatal blow and in his intro. Makes a lot of sense, right? So yeah, this character is the definition of bad design. Like, just blue balling us by giving us a cool ass spear only in the fatal blow and not in the actual gameplay. He can't even use it, which is annoying. He's got lasers for a reason I will not understand ever. This literally makes zero sense. Why the fuck does he shoot lasers? Weird as fuck. Yeah, he's got a projectile that really feels like an odd man out. He doesn't even belong in his kit. And his command grab is way too weak for a grappler type character. So yeah, this guy is a stain on grapplers. He's not even supposed to be a grappler. He's not supposed to be a zoner. I don't know what he's supposed to be. He didn't decide on what he is. Kind of like pronouns. Pronouns and Gen Z kids, pretty much. He doesn't know what he is. He didn't decide yet. So yeah, stupid as fuck. I don't know what they were thinking with this. And that's gonna round up my list for the 3 worst designed characters of all time in this fucking game. And I would argue all 3 of these are in the top 10 worst designed characters in fighting game history. So guys, thank you for watching. Let me know if you agree with me, and I'll see you in the next one.